Yo, okay. So I was muted, my bad. But I prefaced the last video by saying be fearful when others are greedy when others are fearful. If you paid attention to the stock market price action since that last video, then you realize that it's been still on somewhat of an uptrend. As soon as you see bearish divergence starting to form, it typically, especially on larger time frames, typically have another week or two before it actually plays out. So banks reported earnings, and banks make big banks. Yesterday we had earnings from Tesla and Netflix. As expected, as I mentioned, I pictured this being an earnings recession season, with inflation cooling is still somewhat elevated. Uh, so we're starting to see profit taking in this the technical analysis and various divergence. He could have predicted some profit taking was going to be coming very soon, that maybe insiders and institutions are starting to sell, looking to sell them, and just the overall bullish sentiment, the greed that was basically in the market. Like I said, you have had 100% returns on some of the biggest companies on the market since January, and we're only at July. That's not normal growth. And at some point, the wise are going to take profits while the unknown, that's on the term I'm going to use, while the unknown just sit back and continue to put money in it or not even pay attention at all, right? They just going to work every day, letting other people manage their portfolios and whatnot, not even paying attention to it, or just letting the stock just sit there. Ones that are actively paying attention, and of course, the general long-term trend of the market is up, right? So patient for another 5, 10 years, being like, okay, you might be all right. But for those that are paying attention and actively paying attention and watching and monitoring the changes, you know that according to the math, the science, history, you should be taking profits around this time. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing. We might not. I don't know. Hopefully, you waiting another 5, 10 years. That's your plan. You don't plan on touching money anytime soon. You don't want it, don't need it. But if you want to maximize your profits, it's probably a good time to start taking on some of the largest companies. But again, I see most of the investors, most of economists, with general consensus is that we'll be seeing a 25% rate hike at least. Uh, that's coming up here relatively soon, probably next week. And then there may be one or two more before the end of the year. Who knows? We'll have to see. But the one next week is highly likely, pretty guaranteed at this point. That's going to tighten financial conditions, borrowing. So, that's going to also tighten investments from job growth, stimulate growth in various jobs and economies. So, we'll see how that plays out. But again, as expected, just from technical analysis and just doing some research on general trends in the market and the economy, the earnings recession was expected. I mentioned briefly Amazon's earnings towards the end of last year. Just looking at their EPS, price to earnings ratio, things of that nature, it being fairly overvalued. So I wasn't really playing Tesla. I'm still swinging some goods on Amazon, not gonna lie. Um, recent insider selling, chart set up, just overall general earnings recession expected for most companies. I don't see them being much of an exception. Uh, so Amazon and Aspire, ones like mainly trading options on right now, swinging options on that. Uh, grab a daily 0 PTE here and there, but I'm primarily just swinging some clips on those. Let's say it's from everything I know. I've only been trading 3 years, so I'm not Warren Buffett or anything like that, but I know a little bit for the most. So just going off what I know, I'm swinging towards for now. You know, I think we're real close to the top if we the temporary top if we haven't hit it already. So you know, still a lot of greed, still a lot of people seeing upside, upside, upside. And I'm like, at what point do you think institutions and big money gonna start taking profit while us little people and can't say us because I won't be putting my money in long, going long at this point, but you know, the average retail investor that doesn't know, I have people still coming to me asking, what should I do? What should I do? Should I keep this? Should I sell it? And, for those type of people that really just don't know, haven't been around, like you gotta understand what you should do is relative to you and your goals, your personal goals, short term and long term. So what's best for me might not be best for you, and what's best for you might not be best for me, right? So even after you gain a good understanding of trading and investing, it's still gotta use that knowledge to achieve what you are personally trying to achieve. Maybe your goal is to acquire wealth to pass down to the children or whoever else, somebody else you care about. Maybe you don't need it, you don't plan on touching it at all. So your the strategy of investing and trading would be different from somebody that's planning on buying a house or paying for their kids' college education in the next few years or so, right? So those are all variables to consider uh, when developing a trading plan and or investing plan. So it's unique to you and your goals. So it's just my little 2 cents for the day. Still, again, seeing general downtrend approaching. Been on the other trend since October. At some point, trends change. I think we're getting real close to that point if it hasn't already started. Peace.